Book It is a reading incentive program that encourages young people to read.
The Book It program is such a nostalgic thing for people. I feel like it ends up in a bunch of BuzzFeed lists for quintessential 90s culture or things millennials remember. And along with this has come a subtle implication that the Book It program is a thing of the past, that it's not around anymore. And that assumption is not correct. And when I talk to people about the Book It program, I've discovered that the origins are actually very different from what a lot of people think. In case you have no idea what I'm talking about, and this image does not mentally catapult you back in time, I'll go into a little bit of what I remember about the program, and then I'll discuss the program's history. As a child, I read a ton of books. I actually read a lot of adult fantasy novels that were not appropriate for my age group, but a lot of the books had dragons on the cover, and I guess my parents were just like, nothing with dragons in it could possibly have adult content. Dragon riders of Pern walked so Fourth Wing could run. I read books constantly. When I should have been sleeping, when I should have been interacting with my peers, when I should have been running around at recess. Like the other kids at my Catholic school thought I was weird and probably a witch. Fortunately, my antisocial reading was rewarded because my school participated in the Book It program. I would read a certain number of books in a month, and I would earn these little star stickers. And when I had enough star stickers on my little Book It pin, I could earn a personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut. I do think some schools did it a little bit differently. Like, I'm sure there was one set of recommended guidelines that came from Book It, but I think some schools would give out a star per book read, and some other schools would give out a star per certain number of minutes spent reading, so there is a little bit of variable there. I ate personal pan pizzas like a king. The book to pizza pipeline was pretty clear and created a very compelling motivation system for children to read more books, or at least successfully lie about reading more books. There's some references online to there being pizza parties if every student in a class was able to reach some sort of reading goal. And I do remember pizza parties in elementary school, but I don't remember if they were Book It related. Millennials in particular tend to wax poetic about the Book It program. Read books, eat pizza became a core memory for a lot of us.
Look, I only need 2 more stickers for a free pan pizza.
Like I said earlier, there's a very strong mental association between Book It and the 90s. But you guys, this program still exists. However, it's geared towards children from kindergarten to 6th grade. It was always for children. We're just too old now. Like how Narnia kicked out the Pevensey kids when they started to grow up, so too did the Book It program close its magical doors to all of us. After all, now we have jobs and we can buy our own pizza. It's just not the same. We know what cholesterol is now. What is this piece of hair doing? The actual origin of the program is not what I expected. I shouldn't have been shocked, but I was still surprised to learn that the program actually came from Pizza Hut. I mean, obviously Pizza Hut was an integral part of the program, but I always thought that it came from the Department of Education or Scholastic, and Pizza Hut was just a participating sponsor. But no. Arthur Gunther, a man with 2 first names who was president of Pizza Hut, came up with the program in 1984. This was his own thing. It was inspired by his son Michael, who struggled with reading due to eye problems. So it's a cause with a pretty noble origin. There's an interesting LA Times article from 1985 that details the costs from approximately the first year of the program. It cost $2.7 million for the printed materials and an anticipated $50 million for the pizzas in just the first year. In 1985 money. Of course, it's a tax write-off, but $10 million out of pocket is still quite a bit of money. The cynical part of me wants to point out the inherent direct marketing value of promoting Pizza Hut to millions upon millions of children and parents through their school an advertising venue that's otherwise difficult to capture, and the fact that parents will be paying for their own pizzas when they take their kid to redeem their free personal pan pizza. The article says that their numbers allowed for the value of kids purchasing beverages or other items to go along with their personal pan pizza, but parents and siblings need to eat too. So there's probably some sort of hidden additional value to help offset those out-of-pocket expenses. But there's no cost for schools to participate in the Book It program, and the part of me that was once a book-reading, pizza-eating playground witch, unaware of the self-serving nature of corporate America, just wants to think that the program is nice. It's just a nice thing for kids. There is currently a limit to how many pizzas you can earn in a school year. I think it caps out at 6, and I'm sure that a similar limit existed when I was a kid. And I'm sure I hit that limit every year. I've seen a few confusing news stories from 2021 suggesting that they brought the Book It program back.
Pizza Hut reviving its book reading program from the 80s and 90s. Maybe some of us remember this program.
But it never went away. The thing that they announced in 2021 was Camp Book It, which is an extension of the regular Book It program that would run during the summer. The original Book It program actually celebrates its 40th anniversary this year in 2024, so it's been going strong for a while. Part of me hopes for the anniversary that they do some sort of nostalgic Book It thing for adults. Like, even if it's something that I had to pay for, I would still do it. Maybe some sort of book box, like where you can choose from a bunch of different genres, and then you'll get a book. And of course, a coupon for a personal pan pizza, and some other kind of related merch, and bring back the classic pins. They would definitely have to include one of the classic Book It pins. I lost mine. The marketing gremlin that lives in my soul just knows that people would go insane for it. Like, it would sell out immediately. Nowadays, I'm setting goals for myself, like, I want to read 12 books in a year. I used to read 12 books in a month, and then I would feast. But now it's reading Reddit, and it's trying to figure out how to keep that little dot in Microsoft Teams from turning orange. You gotta get a thing. It plugs into your USB. It's life-changing, I promise. Figuring out the difference between, like, Roth and traditional IRAs. Shopping for the perfect ergonomic desk chair. Paying my mortgage. Did you have Book It in your school as a kid? Does it sound like your school kind of interpreted the rules the same way as mine? Did you have different rules? Did you have pizza parties if everyone reached a reading goal? Or if you have kids who are currently in school between kindergarten and 6th grade, do they have Book It? And like, what does that look like now? Tell me in the comments. I'm very curious. Did you know that Scholastic book fairs also still exist? In hindsight, there really should have been some sort of, like, opposite day Book It program for kids like me, where instead of earning rewards for reading books, like, you earn rewards for each successful social interaction with your peers. I feel like that probably would have been really helpful. I'm just imagining my teachers, if they looked at what books I was reading, they would be like, Falar and Lessa have to do what now? Because their dragons have mated? I think I need to call your parents.